I'll give a quick introduction of myself. Okay, before the open the document. Yeah. Good morning, everyone. My name is Laxmi. I have around 6 years of experience in IT industry and 5 years of experience on talent training teaching. Yeah, number of the students are settled in many MNCs and abroad as well. Yeah, I'm glad that you. Today I'm coming in front of you, a talent developer. Currently, I'm working as a talent developer in one of the MNC, and I worked on a many ETL tools like Informatica, IBM Datastage, and Talent. Currently, I'm working as a talent developer on ETL tool in one of the MNC. Okay, today I'll coming in front of you. One of the ETL tool, Talent, it's a front-end developer. The course duration is 45 hours. Okay, are you hunting for the high-paying IT job? It is a technical. It's not a non-technical. It's a technical. Whoever enter into that non-technical to technical background, those also, this tool is very helpful to you because we are not using any coding here. Are you hunting for a high-paying IT job? It is the right course for you. Are you holding a degree from IT or non-IT? Education is not barrier to enter in the IT industry. Anyone also can come to the learn the technical course and enter the IT industry. Are you poor at coding and developing the jobs? It is the right course for you. And but still you are poor in coding level and developing the jobs. But you want to survive in IT industry with tools, with non-coding tools. And this is the right tool, correct tool you are choosing. You are also uh, settle in IT industry, get the high paying salary, like as a DevOps person and Java person and Python. And the course highlights are zero coding, high pay salary, any degree is eligible, more demand in market, and less resources are available. Easy to learn and user friendly, just a drag and drop. This technology feature is 5 to 10 years. Why? Because of I'm saying the 5 to 10 years. Um, I started the teaching in 2019. In 2019 to 2024, it's a high boom. High boom. The talent tool is an open source. Now the talent tool is an enterprise version because of huge demand of the talent. Huge demand of the talent and whatever the business requirements, all the options are available in one tool without any intermediate, without any help of intermediate tools. So that is the reason. That is the reason. Or now the talent tool also commercial, and who are which the projects are necessary need the I want the talent tool only. So those are get the license and use the tool, and it is also open source. It is also open source, and the for banking industry who are providing the data banking industry, those are compulsory purchase the license because of banking data is a high security data. High security data. So those are working on the banking sector, and the project manager, the project the PMO, help us try to get the license because of high security data. So that is the reason I'm saying about that 5 to 10 years because of it is a now enterprise version. Open source also there, but in at banking industry we are using the enterprise version. Other industries like pharmacy data, mm, we are processing the data to the reporting layer. Pharmacy data and retail industry data and other financial sectors data we are processing. For the only banking industry are using the since last 2.5 years are using the this enterprise version. Okay, to get the job, also very basic interview questions. I'll provide that questions as well. Okay, very first point, come to the first point, zero coding. Entire the in my experience as I'm a talent developer, I have a 6 years of experience on talent. In my experience, I haven't used any coding. Just I wrote the if conditions only. Based off if conditions, we have processed the data as per the requirement and then load into the database. Zero coding, we are not using any coding here. And high pay salary. Yeah, like as we will also get the high pay salary like as the uh, technical uh, other technical background persons, technical background persons like as AWS, Python. These are the booming technical, right? We are also get the same salary mm, like as the other technical persons. Okay, and any degree eligible for this talent to ETL tool. Education is not barrier. Any degree also eligible to the person enter into that IT industry and you know the technical background, you are technically strong, and that is enough for the project. That is enough for the project. They are selected uh, on the basis of technical background only. The education is okay. They want that minimum degree. Education is okay. You are coming from the BCom or BSc or BTech. That is not a high priority. That is not a high priority. Only the priority is you are technically strong the particular tool or not. That's it. More demand in the market because of very less resources are available, very less people. Like for example, out of 100 people, only the 5% of the people know the ETL in that two talent. And you saw that your neighbors or your background, everyone. I know the Java, I know the Python, I know the coding, I know the C++, I know the data science, I hear about that, all these courses. And here, if you are telling to something, do you know the talent? Do you know the ETL? They are simply expressing what is ETL, what is talent. So that is the advantage of who are learning to the talent tool because of there more less resources are available, very less resources. In my class also in batch 6 to 7 members, they'll join that batch in 6 to 7 members, and the 6 to 7 members from first to 20 classes, all 6 to 7 members are regularly attended, regularly practicing, and regularly what I'm giving the assignments to that regularly. And from the ending, come to that ending, only 1 or 2 persons are come to that till last class and practice the project, what I'm giving the project, and who are coming to the from the last class and what I'm giving the project, those compulsory that crack that interview. Because of the people's also, nowadays very less patience is available. I want the job immediately. When I joined the course, I want after 30 days, after 45 days, after 40 days, I want the job. How without without the proper knowledge, they'll be anyone, you not only this ETL tool, any tool also without proper knowledge and without the proper training, you can't achieve the interviews. So in every batch had joined that 8 members or 9 members, only 1 or 2 persons are goes to crack that interview. So that is the reason very less resources are available and more demand in the market. You have very less competition, ETL tool, add that to talent. And these jobs are is friendly, easy to learn, and user friendly. Just a drag and drop concept. And this technology is future 5 to 10 years because of the who are the working on the banking sectors, and they are changed to the ETL tool to one more tool. Okay, now this training package includes basic of SQL, data warehouse concepts, all these 45 hours only, talent theory and practicals, talent live scenarios with study material, real world project explanation, mock interviews, support, interview questions, resume preparation, and recording classes. Okay, one more time I explained here. This talent training package includes in 45 hours, in 45 hours, basic SQL, because why we need to the SQL to validate the data, whatever the application we are getting the data from the application team. Whatever the data is flowing from the application team to ETL to reporting layer. For validating the data from application team to ETL, and as per the requirement, the data is properly, we are achieved or we are extracted, fetch the data from the application owner. For validating the data purpose are using the SQL, and then data warehouse concepts, talent theory and practicals, talent live scenarios with study material, real world project explanation, mock interviews, job support, interview questions, and resume preparation, recorded classes. And now what is the ETL? I'll show you with a simple example why we need to ETL. How the ETL is work. Okay. Okay. How the data pipeline flows. Like for example, this is application layer, application layer, application layer, then next ETL layer, then next reporting layer. The data flows to application layer to ETL layer, ETL layer to reporting layer. Why can't fetch the data from application layer to reporting layer? It can't fetch the data from application layer to ETL layer. This is the application layer. And ETL layer. And reporting layer. Reporting layer in a sense, Tableau, Power BI, Cognos, Tableau, Power BI, Cognos, SAP, Tableau. These are the reporting layers. Okay. We are getting the reporting layer, whatever the application layer, application team, DevOps, development application team, they are developed some application, and this data, application data, they want to show the as a reporting layer, as a reporting. So this is the data I asked for the requirement. And this is the data I developed in application, but it can't execute the application layer to data in front of the application layer. They want compulsory to execute the data to load the to show the data as with the help of reporting layer on reporting layer report reporting layer. So this application layer data is a raw data. Whatever they are extracted, they are developing the data. They are developing the application user screen UI, and it's a completely raw data. And this data without ETL, and they can't expose to, they can't send to extract. They are sending to that. They'll send the data. They'll send the data, but this reporting layer can't fetch the data from directly from the application layer. Directly from the application layer. They want, after some ETL transformations only, reporting layer fetch the data. Without ETL, this data, whatever the application layer there who are developed the data, developing their application as per the client's requirement, in reporting layer they can't expose. The reporting layers who are working on Power BI, Tableau, or Cognos, or SAP BO, these persons are they are directly can't fetch the data, extract the data from the application layer, application database. They are compulsory in intermediate application layer and reporting layer. Intermediate, one layer is the ETL. It is also the ETL layer, or whatever we are doing the work here. These persons are also called as data engineers persons. After data engineers persons that extracted the data from application layer, transforming the data as per the requirement, we are load the data into the database. Then this data, and reporting layer fetch this data. If am I correct? I think so, right? You're also get the data from the ETL only. You can't get the data from the application layer. Are you fetching the data from application layer directly, Bhaskar?
No, madam. We need to use some transformations to load the data.
Yes, correct. The before before reporting layer, and one of the technology is there. One of the team is the ETL team, and ETL team did the transformations. Then this ETL team load this data into the database. Then only you will fetch the data, right? Correct? If I'm
Yes, madam. Yes, madam.
my guess is correct. Okay. What we will do in ETL? What we will do in ETL? How we are get the data to the ETL? How we will get the data to the ETL? In what forms of the data we are getting? How many types of the data we are getting? Let's see. Are you able to understand the now clear picture? Why you can't extract the data from application layer? Because it is a raw data. You can't from the application layer, and you can extract the data from only the ETL layer. Okay. Now come to the ETL part. This is the ETL. Now come to the ETL part. ETL part, extract, transform, load. Okay. ETL part is very simple. On your responsibilities are very simple on your shoulders. Extract the data, transform the data, then load the data into the database, and this data goes to the reporting layer. Okay. Here, extract. I'm just giving a blueprint of today's class, and tomorrow we'll explain, and going forward, we'll explain briefly. And today, the first class only, I'll open the tool, and this is what you can't understand. So that's why today is a blueprint of the data, how the data is flows from which pipeline to which data pipeline, which data pipeline to which data pipeline. Extract, transform, and load. Extract the data. At what ways we are extracting the data? As a ETL person, application layer. Here is the application layer. Yeah. Application layer database. Sometimes application team, they are sending the data. Through files. They are sending the data through files. They'll send the data through database. They'll send the data through APIs, and they will send the data through SFTP, file transfer protocol, or they'll send the data through cloud, AWS. This they are using to each not only all the project. Now in one project, not use all the kinds of the formats. If one projects are using the through files, okay, entire complete their project span time, they're using only files. They're sending the data through files only. They're sending the data through files only. The project pipeline is they'll send the data to that ETL team using the database. Entire project also, the project lifetime. The project is some projects are 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. Currently, I'm working. The project is since nearly it's close to the 12 years. In 12 years, I have the project in the project experience, have the 6 years of experience. No, 4.5 years experience. The entire 4.5 years experience also, I got the data from the application stream through database. And some projects are, they follow the data is sent to that ETL layer using the SFTP, WinSAP servers. We are directly goes to the portal, WinSAP server, and we are fetch the data from the WinSAP server and APIs. The projects are, some projects are follow the data. They'll give the just a link. Application team will give the just a link to the ETL layer, and we are fetch the data through link APIs. And some projects are the data stored to the cloud, AWS. We are fetching the data from the cloud. Okay, now coming to the ETL. This is the application layer. Application layer. And this is a reporting layer. Reporting layer. Reporting layer. Okay. Reporting layer. Okay. We are extracting the data. We are get the data from the application team through files, through database, through APIs, or through WinSFTP protocol, or get the data from the application team through cloud. First format is files, and second format is database, DB. Here I'm introducing the DB as the Oracle DB, and the FTP, and API link, and cloud. Okay, now come to the first files. We are get the data of the project pipelines. It's depend on completely project pipelines. If I'm explaining in training, I'm explaining only the files. Whenever you will go to the in real time, it's very difficult to fetch the data from the other perspective. How difficult to fetch the data from the database and FTP and API and cloud. If I'm giving the total training is completely database in, and you are difficult to fetch the data, different kinds of the files. And most of the ETL persons are, they are getting the data through files, through files only. Most of them, and that to comma separated files, because of this talent tool. This is a talent tool. This talent tool more accurate and faster data only, the comma separated values data, comma separated values files data. It's more faster compared to other files, like as a Excel file, JSON file, and XML file, and positional file. Okay, what type of the files we are receiving? What type of the data we are receiving? Like, for example, CSV files, comma separated files, or text files, Excel files, CSV files, Excel files, XML files, JSON files, and positional files or fixed with files. It's look like a bank statement, passbook. The bank passbook statement is look like as a positional format. Account name and when you will draw, and debit amount, credit amount, right? That is look like a this format. Okay, we are fetching the data files, CSV files, XML files. Might be you receive the data in files. These are the different formats of the files: Excel files and JSON files and fixed width files. Okay, CSV files, CSV data, and Excel format, JSON format. Might be you receive the data XML format data, XML format, and positional format. The ETL person, the reporting layer, that their responsibility only after load the data into the database. They are fetching the data from the reporting ETL database only. So, but in before that, how the data is, in what ways the ETL team get the data from the application team, they got the data from the files, or they got the data from the database, or FTP, or API, or cloud. Sometimes we are the ETL team will fetch the data from files, or all these also. Some scenarios are followed all these ways to extract the data as an integration process. We fetch the data as an integration process, like from multiple sources, and transform the data and load into the database. The very first stage is how to fetch the data in what formats are the ETL developer to fetch the data. Files, database, FTP, API, cloud. In files, we have received the different types of the files. Might be the application team send the file to as a CSV format. Might be the application team send the file to that Excel format. Might be the application team send the file to the JSON format. Might be Excel, XML, or positional. We are reading this data. These CSV files data reading format is different. Excel data read format is different. JSON data reading format is different. XML data reading format is different. And positional data reading format is different. We are read the data means extract the data. Extracting means read the data from application layer and transform the data as per the business standardization, business validation, business requirement in single transformation. Then this data load into the database. And whatever we are loaded after transformations, whatever the load the data into the database, and this data, the reporting layer fetch the data from the ETL. Okay. And what type of the transformations? The number of the transformations are using the different components. We are using the different components and number of the transformations as per the requirement. And after transformation, the thing is using the one tool, then load into the database. And very first step, how to read the file. Okay, how to read the file. While we will do. While reading the file, what the analysis we'll do first. Okay, I'll open one file. Did you get my point, or any confusion, any cross questions, Bhaskar?
No, madam, it is clear, madam.
It's clear, right? Pipeline is clear, right? I know that because of you are already in the reporting layer, so that's why so that is the reason I'm asking before. How do you know the ETL and I'll explain that elaborately because some persons are coming to the class with a blind knowledge, and I want to learn the ETL. I want to switch the technical background. So that is the reason I'm asking. What is your
Yeah,
background?
actually, I worked on it, madam, and like in my previous company also, like I worked with
Mm,
directly through writing like a procedures for a daily transaction, and we will create some
mm,
jobs and all. No? It is like through
mm,
database procedures and all, madam. So, and like I worked on something like Oracle Data Integrator, like for some time, madam. So not fully.
mm-hmm,
Uh, so that's why I just wanted to, like, in our company we were using some ETL talent. So
mm-hmm.
I wanted to learn more about this, madam.
Okay, just very recently they are introducing the ETL tool.
Yeah, madam. It is through a vendor implementation. It is done.
Mm,
So like I wanted to know more details about it, madam. So if there are any changes
yeah.
and all, no, I can do that.
Yes, yes. And you are worked on with your colleagues, how the data is flowing. You are just contact to your
Actually, I'm
low
working on a
level.
bank, madam. Actually, I'm working on a
Mm-hmm,
bank. So like we will be coordinating with the vendors and all. So it is in IT
mm-hmm,
only, but
correct.
yeah,
Mm,
application support. I'm working on it, and yeah,
yeah,
mainly in terms of the database and all, I know, madam. So mostly.
good, good. Okay. Yeah. For example, this is a file. How many records have in this file? How many records have in this file?
11, madam.
Good. First is a not a record. It is a schema. It is a schema. First record is a not a data. It is a schema of the data. It is schema of the data. Employee number, employee name, salary, HRA. This is a schema column name. Columns of the this is the data. Without schema, you can identify this data is belongs to what. This data is belongs to what. This data is belongs to what. No, right? This is a schema.
Uh, Yeah.
Okay. And first, once you have received the file, you understand what is the separate of the fields. The separation of the fields are comma is a separator. Sometimes you receive the data with a separation with this format. You have received the data from application team. Now say what is the field separator?
We cannot say,
What is
madam.
the field separator here? We can say through data. Data is a field separator is comma, but schema is field separator is comma, full stop, and slash. Sometimes who are the freshers in the application layer, some persons are allotted to the application layer. The duty is only sending the files to the ETL layer. Only sending the files to ETL layer. Who are the freshers? They might be forgot difference between the commas or full stops or slashes. In such scenarios also, once we have received the file who are sending the from application layer, or they're experienced or freshers, whatever it is. But as the ETL perspective, very first step, once we receive the file and analyze the file, in what ways to analyze the file? Very first point is to analyze the schema. First analysis is analyze the schema. What is a schema? And what is the separator of the schema? What is the separator of the schema? The data have separator of the data is a comma, but the schema is some columns are separated is a comma delimiter, and some columns between the two columns delimit this full stop delimiter and slash delimiter. Then what should you do? Immediately revert the mail to the application team. mm, To application team, I received the data as a mail to that application, revert to the mail to the application. I received the data as a comma separated, but you are sending the schema as a different delimiters. Can you please cross check from your end and send the proper data? So again, application team remove this one, and we can't remove the commas and separators and whatever it is. It is completely we are completely depend on the application layer. Application layer send the data to the from application and application database to ETL database. So here again the application team properly correct it and send to the ETL layer. ETL layer. This is the first step. Once we have received the data from application layer, it's a file format data, and we'll check the schema of the data. How many, what is the columns, and what is the field separator, and what is the field separator of the column. Sometimes they are sending the data in correct format. Like sometimes they'll send the data like this also, like this as well. So we can't fetch this direct entire this name to the our reporting our ETL layer. And again we are reward to the mail. These are the while analysis the file, while analysis these are the mistakes I found it. Please correct it and send a proper file. From their end, they correct it, their database, and send a proper file. Okay, this is the first analysis. How to read the file? How to read the file? Open the talent tool, 7.3.1 version. I'm giving the tool here. First time it's open the talent tool, it's taking the more time. More time means hardly taken that 3 minutes. Meanwhile, you have any questions or any doubts, feel free reach out to me.
As of now, it is clear, madam.
Yeah. So here only having a 7 columns, they are find out. Still also this is a, they forgot to find out the mistake. And is it possible to, is it possible to this data extracted to the ETL? Let's see. In real time, we have a 20 columns, 30 columns, and some big files and big data having 35, 40 columns also, and number of records as well. Always who are working on the reporting layer, always depend on the ETL compulsory. The format of ETL is different. Someone are using the tools and some projects pipelines are using the PySpark, big data, and Hadoop they are using, and someone are using the pipelines are AWS with Glue. That's depend on the project only. Not all projects are using the tool. Not all, I'm saying that not all projects are using that. Only the PySpark and AWS and Hadoop. Some depends on the some data. Depends on the data. If they're getting the huge data from the application layer, they obviously go to the Hadoop. Every day they will get the data, lakhs of the records, millions of the records. At the perspective, they'll go to the big data only, Hadoop and Hive Hadoop, because the big data very faster load the data, lakhs of records. And the project having that minimal records. Every day they're flowing that only 1,000 records, 2,000, 5,000 records. And obviously choose the tools only. And some projects are completely through the cloud-based only we are using this project to reduce the cost, and through financial sectors, other retail industry sectors, they're using the AWS Glue. There are number of the data engineering platforms. In Talent tool also one of the data engineering, ETL tool also one of the data engineering platform. Got it? What is the data engineering means?
Yeah, yes, madam. So now compared to
Hmm.
this ETL talent, madam. So Azure, like like this Azure
Hmm.
Data Factory, Databricks, madam. So which one will be
Hmm.
good, madam? The ETL talent will be good or
That's depend on that's depend on the project only. Some projects are completely using the tools only. Some projects are Azure using the Azure. Some projects are using the AWS. I'm not sure which is the best. That's depend on project only.
okay? But this ETL talent will support this cloud platforms, madam.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Supports this ETL supports the cloud platform and ETL supports a number of the databases like as MS, MySQL, Oracle, Hive, Impala, and Salesforce cloud databases also we can easily integrate it with these tools.
From when the actual classes will start, madam?
Yeah, batch will form, the actual classes will start.
Can you repeat again, madam?
Today is the first
Today is the first class.
batches are not yet started, Bhaskar. Yeah, today is
Okay,
the first demo.
okay, okay.
Currently, you are working on a hybrid work or completely work from office?
It is like regular offices only, madam.
Oh, great. 5 days go to that office and doing the work.
Yeah, yes, madam.
And I'm giving the hint to you. HCL. HCL company is having the more requirements. LTI Mindtree also having more requirement talent tool. And one more company is there. Mm, more talent requirements. The Houston.
Okay.
HCL, LTI Mindtree, and what is that other company name? Mm, uh, HCL. I forgot the company name. CGI. CGI. These three companies having more
Okay,
requirements.
okay.
Yeah. Very recently also my two students are placed in HCL. The requirement
Okay,
only
ma'am.
ETL and the database is Oracle database. Talent
Okay,
and
okay.
Oracle database. Okay, you want to brush up or you want to put your resume the ETL also, that is the fine. See that try talent cloud free because of now huge demand of the on this talent tool in market. Okay, now how to read the file? Today's classes. File delimited. This is a dashboard of the ETL tool. I'm explaining the very first line to last line. Talent Open Studio for data integration. 7.3.1 is a version and it is released the Talent company as open source 2020. 2020 to 19. Their port number is 11130. This is a our project name. Connection is local. If connection is local and remote, we are working as a local only. Connection is remote means we are working as a remote, because once we are changes in remote level uh, across the persons across the country level or state level, across your team, they are showing the changes. They'll show the changes at remote level. If you are working as a local, only you can see the changes and you can develop the job, and after deploying the job only remote persons will see. Okay, this is a file edit Windows help, and this is a repository. Repository means save the entire code in the repository, like as our human brain. And this is a designer space, and it is a palette space. The components are available in palette space. It's the outline window, and these are configuration tabs. We have job tab, context tab, component tab, run tab. Now everything is blank, right? Okay. File delimited. It's a delimited file. We are received as a delimited file. File delimited. Create, right click, create file delimited. Give the file name, demo file. Totally have 4 steps. Everything has only by clicking options, like as a which reporting tool you are using, Power BI or Tableau or Cognos.
We were using Power BI and OBI, madam.
OBI. Okay, you also just by click the options, you got the query and generate the query, right?
Yes, madam.
Like here also, everything has a by clicking on options.
Yeah,
Then click
mainly
on
for
next.
analytics and all, we were using Power BI, and to generate this contracts, reports and all, we were using OBI, madam.
Okay. Now browse the file. The file is in this PC.
And I know little things about the
Windows.
SAS also, madam. SAS reporting tool also.
Yes, I know the SAS reporting tool. Yeah. Because after ETL development, we are also involved to that. We have some only special privileges to log in the Power BI, whatever the reporting tool, and we'll check the report, how the report is generated. Little bit privileges to the ETL team, not all the privileges, only little bit privileges, front-end privileges, only read-only privileges. Demo
Okay.
file. Demo file, yeah. Then click on open. Then click on next. It is a comma separated. And this file have header. That's the third step is comma what is the field separated, and what this file have header or not. If the header is there, how to read the file. If header is not available, how to do, tomorrow we'll see. Now the data comes to the tabular format. We'll see. Refresh. Then click on next. This is how to read the only CSV files. To read the positional file format is different. To read the XML file format is different. To read the Excel file format is different. And to read the JSON file format is different. Our training will show that all the file formats as well. Okay. Now see that these are the column names and these are the data types of the columns. And Talent automatically guess the data types. So third step, reading the data, right? Third step, with the help of the third step, reading the data, Talent automatically guess the data types. Okay. Now what should you do? Increase the length. In real time also, you will send the file and Based on the length, will increase to ETL end also. Okay, then next, click on finish. This is the way to read the file. Now design one simple job, create the job, demo job, demo job. Here batch jobs are processing. Mostly ETLs are batch jobs. Okay, yeah. Just drag and drop, drag and drop it, limits. Select the P file input delimited. Okay, this icon is called component. This icon is called component. The icon is called a double click this icon just to see the information. This icon name is this component name is T file input delimited. T means talent file. It is a file. It is an input file and it's a delimited input file. Talent delimited input file. It's not a file. It's not a JSON file and it's not a XML file. Digital file. It's a delimited files. Delimited input file. So the data flows here in ETL from left to right. Right. Okay. Now DB connections. I didn't give the DB connections. Create the connection. Oracle there. Okay. Then click on next. This is done by your who said talent administrator. Password and server. Service name and first connection. Connection successful. Click on OK. Then click on finish. Okay. And the Oracle output. Out. Now the requirement is from this file, I want only from this file, I want only department number 10 records. From this file, I want only department number 10 records. Or from this file, I want load only. Oh, Hyderabad having more people. How many? 1, 2, 3. Okay. Okay. Any call from this file, I want only uh, department number 10 records. How to load only department number 10 records. You are receiving the data from multiple columns from application team, but as a but as a client want to show in the reporting layer, I want only this columns data, that columns data, not entire columns, not entire columns to visible the reporting layer. So I want only this data, department number 10 records only. I want to see in reporting layer. So for that, how to do the transformations? I want only department number 10 records. But is you are using the database as a source, using the where condition. Select the star from table name where department number equal to 10. You'll get the data. But the same how to do through talent. We have a separate component is the filter row component. So just giving the connection and double click this job, double click on place and select the column name. Select the column name and what is the value? Value is 10. That's it. Talent will take your backend and double click. Give the table name. table 1. Copy the table, copy, and select the options as of now I'm selecting as drop table if exist and create. Now run the job. Once job ran successful, data loaded into the database. Job has failure, data will not load into the database. Meanwhile, open the database as well. My 10.2.1 version I'm giving to you. Oracle SQL. So total 11 records fetched from the file out of 11 records as per the requirement. Let's see how many records. I saw here only 2 records on department number 10. And but see, yeah, 5, it's 0 records. Oh my God. See. Okay. Double click. Oh, it's not employee number. It's a department number. Department number value 10. Save it. Control plus save. It's a department number. Now run the job. Sometimes these are the challenges also you will face. Some job ran successful, but the records will not fetch the records as per the transformation. Cross check and debug that issue. 2 records. Select table name. Save tab 1 now. What is the table name? Same exactly table name. Use here as well. This is a small ETL job. CAB1. Okay. CAB1. So cross. Sometimes the data loaded in unknown command. Select to select okay, only 2 records. Sometimes the data loaded into the front end, but while do the unit testing, the data will not come to the database. So at the perspective also how to do the further classes we'll see. Okay, this is a small ETL job basket. Where this is from data source. This is a target. We are getting the data from the source. Source is application layer. Like for example, after doing the transformations, then load this data into the database. Yeah. From left to right, the data is flowing. Yeah. Any questions on this today's class? Tomorrow let's
Madam, it is clear, madam. It is clear only. So
yeah.
I'm like just wanted to know like when the actual classes will start, madam. So that's why. So
Right. Actual classes will start by 2 days. One just we're forming the batch.
yeah.
Actual started also will soon. But tomorrow is one more demo. Will brief
Okay.
explanation. Day after tomorrow is the installation class. And after 2 days,
Okay.
the actual classes. Without installation, you can't do that actual classes, right?
Yeah. No, why? Because like I'm
Oh,
like
yes, yes.
in DurgaSoft only. Na, I was like attending the class, madam, for Power BI. So it is at the
Mm-hmm.
ending of the classes, so I think maybe.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I'm asking, madam. So once.
Yeah. Tomorrow also we have a demo. Day after tomorrow is installation class.
Okay.
And day after tomorrow means it's what date? Yeah, Monday onwards. After installation done that Friday, Monday regular classes. You have already talent tool? Huh?
Yeah, I have it, madam, already.
Oh, which version do you have?
Tool, madam, installation.
Yeah, tool. You have
Yeah, it
number
is
of
there, madam. It is. I installed it, madam.
the version name.
I don't know. I'll check. It is very long back. I installed it.
I think so, 6.4.1.
Yeah, I think, madam. I think.
Okay. Okay, if any version is fine for us.
Okay,
Not
okay,
a
madam.
big changes. Okay. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, madam.
Tomorrow also demo. Day after tomorrow is installation classes because someone will be joined tomorrow. They want to the installation properly, and Monday onwards from regular classes. Okay. Yeah,
Okay,
thank
madam.
you.
Okay.
Bye bye.
Thank you.